Hi, it's Scarlet Nymph here, and I wanted to show you how to use my chunky glitter mixes. They're made of the finest glitter grade commercially available. Right now I have 75 shades. They're man-made solvent-resistant glitters. They're super sparkly. There's no pigment in these glitters. Glitter works like a mirror, and you need the mirror to be clean to reflect the light. So, like you can see over here, they're super shiny. It's just a little bit of light sparkling off of a mirror type surface. And if you had pigment in there, it would obscure the light reflection and you'd end up with a non-sparkly blob. So I have two different types of glitter in my selection. I have holographic and chameleon. Holographic here shows all the color spectrum at once. So you've got a full rainbow in every glance. Holographic shows the color spectrum as you look at it at whatever angle. So it changes as you review it, depending on what angle you're looking at it from. Can you see how those colors change and shift as you look at it on the edge? Holographic is a much smaller effect. So you can see it's like very soft. The smallest size of glitter in these is dependent on the size of film and the number of effects. Since the chameleon have so many more effects, they have 0.4 millimeter thickness is the smallest possible size. Look here at Out of Space. It's almost got like a geode finish, kind of like a peanut brittle texture. Lime has 0.1 millimeter is the smallest size. It's more smooth surface. Because my glitters include sizes up to 3 millimeter, I use a strong gum Arabic ratio in my binder recipe. And this should keep the glitter where you put it, and you should have minimal fallout. But it does take a little bit of time and patience to activate them. If you can, try and use filtered or distilled water. I like to use that with these little dripper bottles. I pre-soaked and mixed these paints already for you. So you can see it has a syrupy consistency. See how it pulls up? Almost has like meringue peaks. This is the perfect consistency for this paint to work. They can be really thirsty, so I like to get them started off with a good amount of water in there. So let's pre-soak this one, and we'll come back to it later. They can be really thirsty, but only use water to get them started. After they're gooey like this, you can add different mediums that you like, such as oxgall, but only water will melt the gum Arabic in the pan. You see how thick it is on the brush? I can add them as an effect over, or I can paint more to have an opaque effect where you don't see anything underneath it. It would be a mistake if I got this perfect consistency and then used my brush straight from the jar of water, because every time you put your paintbrush down, You see those drips of water? If I let those go into one of these, it would be a mistake, because that would mean I'd have different swirls of water and melted binder. And you really can't see the binder, so you don't know it's there or not until later when you come back and try to dry it and the glitter doesn't stick. It just moves. Then you know that it's been water. Too much water. So dry off your brush before putting it back. It can be damp, but not wet. I pre-mixed these for you so that you didn't have to waste time watching me do that. We'll go over Shenanigans. Oh, look. Shenanigans has already sucked up that water. You can't even see it. Okay, so I'm going to put another bit. That's good. Check that out. And it's just going to suck it up. So let's look at this purple. This is Disco Pants. I love Disco Pants. Sorry for the background noise. I live right on a really busy road. So you can do a simple light effect. Or you can have it a little bit thicker and cover up what it is that you're painting. Wow, that guy was really in a hurry. Again, when I rinse my brush, I'm going to make sure there's no water on it and then come back in. Oh, let me show you this one. This one is AB Yellow. You can see I've got two samples here, one on black and one on white. And this is one of my Snowstorm series. I think this is number 5 in that. It looks completely different depending on what color you put it on. Isn't that awesome? Some of these in here are transparent, and it has very, very small pieces of mica in there as well. Little bits of flakes. I like to mix these with a nail polish tool so they can really get mixed in. So let's take a look at Shenanigans here. Oh, look at that. Look at that. Did you see how it just opened right up? All right. It's still just a little bit chunky. So I'm going to put just a little bit more water in there. And again, I'm going to mix it up. I don't want to just use the water that was on top. So mix it all up. Get it good going. See how it just goops in there. Let's look at Shenanigans. Oh my God, it's so crazy. So these are softer than your average paint because I also use a special humectant that will keep it soft. You don't want to put these away back in your pan until they've dried because they can be tipped over and then they would move in your pan, then you wouldn't be able to use them again. It'd be just too much of a mess. But if you let it dry, these should re-soak each time. Each time. Let me show you again on these. This little texture here. Can you see it's kind of velvety? And then this one's a little chunky because it's got larger particles in it. This is one of the 0.4 millimeters. I've pre-marked some printed pages up so that you can see what it looks like when it's dry. See how big those particles can be? How spread out? Or how you can fill it in to cover. This one has yellow, I like it. So shiny. And look, it doesn't want to come off. Just a little bit there. Oh, I had that on my fingers from handling that earlier. But see if it doesn't really want to come off. It's nice and thick and sticky. It's not sticky to the touch now because it dried. Let me show you one of my makeup shrines. This is one of the things that I've been working on, that I made these paints for. This is what I call a self-care shrine. It's got glitter all over it. And this is magnetic for your makeup to go in. On the outside, you can see that I've painted this pattern with these little splotches of red paint. There's almost like a hard shell to it. This was sprayed with a glassy, glossy acrylic coating. Since this object is meant to be handled and used every day, you want to be able to protect that surface and provide a surface that is cleanable with a soft cloth. You couldn't do that. If you tried to clean off one of these with a cloth, you probably would wipe it off with friction. If you're going to put your item under glass or protect it in some other way, you don't need the gloss spray. But I feel like it is an important step for longevity in anything that will be handled. Since I've been using these for years, I can't give you any archival promises unless you spray them sealed like this, because I only have the amount of time that I've been working with them to tell you, and these have been sitting in a drawer for over a year. So I think that's a pretty good statement for longevity. But like I said, if you're going to handle this, you'd want to give it a coating to protect it. And that is my tour. And please feel free to email me if you have any questions on these products, or if you have any trouble getting them to work. I am usually responsive within the day, and I am happy to help. Thank you very much. Bye.